I think 2 years ago we were in the in case of emergency break glass phase of school planning, and I think I mean I can't even describe what the last 2 years has looked like in terms of what has had to happen to allow us to be on campus. But no, I think we're thriving. I think this year feels normal. We've had homecoming, we've had our ninth grade retreat, we have a full athletics program, we've got different mitigation that we're doing. We've remained healthy, so we haven't had any outbreaks. So we're hoping that over the next few months we can continue to keep the program expanded. I think the good news, which we're going to be sharing with the community this week, is we're doing winter sports. So we have some students who haven't been in school for 18 months, and so I think that's been, I think everyone's getting their social sea legs back underneath them, and I think we're finding there are some gaps a little bit, for some students who, I think students just had a very interrupted educational experience, and we draw. We have 62 ninth graders from 22 different schools. I think we're trying to get those students all on the same page is proving to be not an insurmountable challenge, but it's a challenge this year that's different than other years. I mean, I have two kids, and their lives were deeply interrupted, whether it was social events or family events, or big sort of life transition events like graduations, and I think they'll remember it profoundly. I think some students liked online learning, but in my experience, the balance of students, I think as human beings we're meant to be together and to be in social situations and to learn in community, and to have that back is just a breath of fresh air. Yeah, I don't think at this point our goal is to grow. I mean, I think we may grow a little bit more than we have right now, maybe another 24 students perhaps. I think for us, the purpose of this master plan is to catch up with our growth. I feel like in some ways as a school we're like that 15-year-old kid who, our pant leg, there's a pant leg that's too short and the jacket needs to be tailored a little bit, kind of as we move into adulthood as a school, and that maybe is the wrong metaphor since we're 111 years old. But I do think as a day school, this is our 25th year as a day school, right? And so this school was built as a boarding school for 60 girls, and there are corners of the school where you're in it and you think, wow, this feels like it was built for 60 girls, rather than 235 sweaty, co-ed day students who just need a little bit more space. And the spaces that we currently have are working, but they're not optimal. And I think that's the goal for this next program. Same thing with athletics. Our field house was built back when we were a boarding school, and we're making it work right now, but we just feel like we need to create a facility that is equal to the program. We're really the option on the Mid-Shore in terms of an independent, non-parochial high school. And we want to make sure that we're big enough to serve the region. At the same time, we want to have some level of selectivity, because this is a community where we really do value certain things, and want to make sure that we have students who are committed to those values and families who are committed to those values. I'm optimistic about private education, K through 12. I think there's some challenges more generally around demographics for a lot of schools because there are just fewer kids, and so you have an infrastructure of schools that is serving a smaller group of students and parents. And so I think those are challenges. I think colleges are different. I think once you get to be 18, I think people are seeing post-secondary education in a slightly different way. And I do think, especially at the college level, the price to value ratio has gotten really out of whack. And I think what's happening now is the same thing. There's a lot of options and only a limited number of students, and so it's creating some vulnerability for some schools. But I discovered this during the pandemic probably more than anything. Gunston, our mission is academic rigor, nurture, and personalization. That isn't going anywhere. I mean, when I send my kids to school every day, I want them to be challenged academically. I want them in a place where they have great teachers who care about them. I want them to be in a social environment which is healthy. And I think, the more we learn about the brain, the more we realize just how kind of individualized the program needs to be. And so, really really allowing them to thrive in the areas where they're strong. So what we're trying to do is simple in concept, but difficult to execute. This idea that when a child arrives at the beginning of the day and when they leave at the end of the day, that whole experience is a healthy experience, right? A healthy, supportive, and challenging experience. And so for us, I think we're just trying to bring the best out of every student that comes along. And we don't really talk about this idea of fitting in, because I think fitting in is a suggestion that, like, okay, there's a norm that you need to fit into. I think we talk a lot more about belonging, and to try to create a community where every student brings their full self to the community, and that we sort of embrace that in a way which is kind and respectful, and which honors kids' differences and their strengths. Well, I think every head of school, every educator, you want a student or a class or institution to be in a better place than it was when you started. And I feel there are many places that I can look at and feel good about my leadership here. There's still a lot to do, I think, but no, I feel okay about how things have gone. Yeah. I do enjoy it. No, I'm lucky. I'm one of the, I'm not sure what percentage of Americans gets up every day and loves their job, but I'm one of them. So